I just completed a 3 video series that I'm calling The Alien Report, and keeping in line with our new format, or the new format for this channel, which is seeing if a nicheless channel can grow, and I've called that Nicheless by Nature. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but if you want to see a previous video, I think about 4 videos back, you can get a little more information on what I'm trying to do with this new format. So, and I will touch upon it later. Having said that, this is the recap, or the reflections and analysis video following the new experiment, which was that series. And in general, I feel good about it. It was rewarding, challenging, which is good, and labor intensive, which is good as well. Having said that, in the end, there was pretty good engagement for my channel, but overall low engagement. And I think this was one of the reasons, or this is one of the reasons, why I'm going to be moving forward from this series to something new. I have a list of things that I can choose from. I'll try to make sure that I'm picking something interesting, not just for myself, but hopefully for a larger audience out there. The Alien Report series that I just completed is part of something that I am calling the AI Voice Project, and that has been an important part of the past couple projects that I've completed, actually. One of them being a book, and you can watch a couple of videos that I have in my catalog talking about that book at greater length. In terms of this Alien Report project, I did something which is popular these days. It's nothing new in terms of using AI to adopt different personas, and then to speak using that, or embodying that persona, whether it might be a historical figure, someone in the media, etc. I then thought of the idea of this alien observer who could act as the persona, and this sort of worked well in terms of using AI as the embodiment, or as that, I guess you can say, intelligence that's embodying the character of this alien, this extraterrestrial. There was some complementary and parallel qualities that both AI and the alien shared in terms of high intelligence, if you want to say that AI does have intelligence, in terms of being a non-human entity, right? And also having kind of a scientific, analytical perspective on things. So again, it's this outsider analyzing an in-group, which is humanity, from a distance, and all of these sort of parallel qualities came into play kind of nicely. Well, let me just say that I had AI write the entire script, and basically I'm reading it. So the overdubbed voice is me playing the role of the alien, reading the AI script. I made very few adjustments to the script after it was drafted. We did go through the process of making sure the tone was correct. And this is an important part. Even though the script itself was written by AI, the concept, the character concept, was my own, in terms of the personality of the alien, the qualities that it had. Namely, again, as I mentioned before, a kind of scientific objectivity combined with high intelligence, and a kind of a dry humor that resulted from a childlike innocence and curiosity. The visual style is something that I always wanted to explore in terms of trying it out in a video. And so this is where more of the experimentation factored in. Namely, it's a stick figure style of tutorial. Well, I mean, they have tutorials out there, stick figure tutorials, and educational materials, as well as entertainment, which I think this falls under different categories, but one of them is entertainment. And it's a great way of storytelling, making things a little more interesting than just maybe stock visuals or generic B-roll or something like that. So 98% of the drawings are my own, 98, 99%. There are a few that I had AI help me with in terms of getting AI to generate an idea, an image, in terms of setting up a scene, for example. And I would print those out and use tracing paper to kind of create the scene and add my own kind of little touches here and there. But so yes, AI did factor into helping me with the drawings, but for the most part, the entire process was my own. I did use ChatGPT. So again, as I mentioned before, the format is essentially the static drawings with the audio overdub. Having said that, the other reason why I have my notes down here, so you're going to be noticing that I'm looking down every so often. The other reason why I would like to move on, let me just back up for 1 second and talk about how I was sort of on the fence, thinking maybe I can do 2 more of these alien report videos to see if that would help maybe distribute the video a little bit more extensively in terms of the algorithms work. And it was a little bit difficult, but in the end, it was I got a pretty clear signal from my gut that said it's a good time to move forward, and maybe in the future you can do a couple more. The main reason, though, is that the main reason why I'm moving forward is because I have been working a lot with AI recently, namely the almost 2 year project that I was doing with AI in terms of having conversations with it within the context of what I see as a pretty interesting format. And then continuing to use AI in my YouTube experiments and YouTube videos in general. I think I relied on it a little bit too much in terms of getting ideas, at least for me. I would brainstorm. I continue to brainstorm with AI, and it's very helpful and useful in that sense. But there's a fine line between when, for me, I need to kind of stop that and then move forward with my own thoughts and ideas. And I got a much more clear idea, or a much more clear sense of where that line is located. I guess for everyone it's different. So I'm looking forward to moving forward, using less AI, but using it, but in a different way, namely as kind of an administrative assistant in terms of organizing things, transcribing things. So in terms of the more personal aspect, that's very important for me, injecting myself more in the upcoming videos. I want to improve talking head style videos where I'm speaking more spontaneously and more from the heart, I guess in kind of a raw form or raw format. And I'm attracted to that format because I just want to improve. I feel like it really helps me in not just in terms of my public speaking and YouTube video production or YouTube video content, but in many other aspects of my life, because it allows me to practice spontaneity, spontaneous creation, in addition to clear thinking, organizing my thoughts in the moment. And these things really help with so many different aspects of my life. There is a risk in changing direction, and this may happen, on a regular basis. And maybe this is where I can talk about the Nicheless format that I'm trying to move forward with. Essentially, the concept is to do different series of videos or different formats, different experiments, maybe 2 to 4 videos, and then to follow that up with an analysis and reflection video, which is what I'm doing right now. So yes, there is definitely a risk in terms of the algorithm not just catching on and it being confused. Now, having said that, it's all part of this Nicheless format, though, confusing the algorithm. The larger concept is sort of a meta niche, or a niche within a niche. Sorry, maybe that's not the right way to say it. The larger idea is essentially that the niche itself could be the fact that I'm changing topics, moving from topic to topic, experimentation, right? So the niche itself could be the fact that I am nicheless, and that's sort of the way to move forward, or that's the experiment. And I have no idea how that is going to add up. Having said that, based on sort of the advice that's out there, this sort of thing will have kind of very low chances of connecting with a larger audience, which is my goal, not for the sake of likes and subscriptions and high view counts, but mainly so that I can connect with more people to get my message out there, to provide value, and hopefully improve people's lives. So in the end, that's the goal. The big question for me is, and maybe some of you who might be interested who do have nicheless channels, can a nicheless channel thrive? That's hard to say. Can a nicheless channel thrive? I'm going to stick with it for the time being because it fits my personality. It makes the process of creating videos more rewarding, and I think that's more important for me than anything else. But yes, again, as I mentioned before, generating an audience is also important for my goals. My hope is really to attract creators, other YouTube creators who have diverse channels that are nicheless as well, and people who just enjoy variety and creativity, I guess unpredictability as well. And this is what I'm doing with my channel. So for now, I'm happy continuing with this experiment, and we'll move forward with the next format, the next series of videos, which will be a surprise to me as well, because I'm going to go through my notes right now and see what I can come up with. So we'll see you in the next video, and I hope you enjoy the content to follow.